everyone, it's Lynnea for LDRS Creative, and I have another video for you introducing you to some products from the new With Affection collection. Today I'm going to be using the Flaurs Petite Daisies Impression Letterpress dies, the Elegant Rectangle Frame Impression Letterpress dies, and then I'll use a sentiment from the Love and Friendship Sentiment Impression Letterpress dies. So just a reminder that in order to use these dies, you do need a specialized platform. I will be using the Letterpress platform from Spellbinders. This is a platform that is intended to be used with letterpress techniques for the impression letterpress dies. You do not want to run these dies through your regular die cutting machine, as you will damage your machine. These are thicker dies than your regular cutting dies. So I have actually a piece of heavyweight Neenah cardstock that I'm going to use and press this Flaurs Petite Daisies impression die into. I want to do some Copic coloring, and because I'm going to be coloring with alcohol markers, I didn't want to use watercolor cardstock. Watercolor cardstock is more fibrous. The fibers are further apart, which allows water and water-based techniques to really absorb into the cardstock. On the other hand, though, if you are using Copic markers or like an alcohol-based marker, that ink is going to spread into those fibers, so you're going to get bleeding. So I used regular Neenah cardstock for that first die, and now I have some LDRS Creative watercolor cardstock that I'm going to use, and I will press the Elegant Rectangle Frame Impression Letterpress die into this panel. So I'm taping that onto the top plate for my Letterpress platform, and then I'm grabbing that Elegant Rectangle Frame die, and I'm lining it up right in the center of my Letterpress platform. The Letterpress platform has outlined areas that are really convenient for A2 and A7 cards. I typically make A2 cards, so I'm staying within those inner lines there, and I've centered that frame right in the middle. And now I'm coming in with some Fandango hybrid ink from LDRS Creative, and I'm going to ink up this frame. Now when I'm inking, I want to be careful not to over ink this frame. So I'm just using one of the edges of my ink pad and giving it little taps rather than pressing the ink onto that die. And there you can see this perfect frame. I know it's hard to see the impression texture, but trust me, it's there, and when you use these dies and send them off to your friends and family, they are going to love that pressed look. So I've used the coordinating die from the Flaurs Petite Daisies Impression Letterpress die. The outer die, that can go through your standard die cutting machine. That is just your regular wafer thin die, and you will notice the thickness, the difference in the thickness between the outline die and the actual letterpress die. So I've cut out that image, and now I'm just grabbing a few colors of alcohol markers. I'm using Copic markers, and I'm going to color this image in. I'm not doing a whole lot of blending. In fact, the only time that I did a two-color shade was for those bigger green leaves. The great thing about these Flaurs Petite dies is that they're small. They're cute and they're tiny, and so they don't take a lot of effort to color, and they're also not going to take up a large portion of your card. They're going to be a nice focal point, but they're going to be small. So here's how my card is looking so far. I know I want to have that frame surrounding that floral arrangement, and I know that I want to press a sentiment from the Love and Friendship Sentiment Impression Letterpress dies right into my cardstock panel. So here's a little trick, because I removed that outer die from my letterpress platform, and so I want to make sure that it's going to be right where I want it. I want that bouquet to be centered along with that sentiment. So I took a piece of my yellow masking tape or washi tape, and I kind of rolled it up, removed some of the stickiness so that it's barely stuck onto my paper, and I stuck that impression side down into the center of that frame right where I want it to go. And that's going to give me a good idea from the top to the bottom where I want that to go, and then I'll just use those centering lines on my Letterpress platform to make sure that that is centered. And there you go, I have that sentiment right where I want it. So that's just a little trick that I use all the time. I'm going to add some foam tape behind that little daisy bouquet cutout die and pop that right in the center, and this card is finished. I hope you enjoyed this clean and simple, easy letterpress card. All of these products are available in the LDRS Creative Store now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye!